Before June rolled around, we were really left in the dark as to what Nintendo was cooking up for the Wii U and 3DS in 2015, but they changed that around exponentially with their fantastic showing at E3 2014. With the brilliant Nintendo digital event filled with amusement, games, non-stop awesomeness, and more games, and the Nintendo Treehouse Live that gave us enthusiasts an even closer look at some upcoming top-notch titles with actual gameplay footage. Nintendo was really all over the board when it came to their game announcements, and I'm definitely not saying that in a derogatory way, but we just got such a great variety to look forward to. We got a woolly platformer, an epic RPG with stinking dinosaurs, a clever little puzzler featuring the one and only Captain Toad, an open world Zelda adventure, and much more. But let's be honest here, even though these upcoming games look phenomenal, most of those that were announced were slapped with a 2015 release. Sure, Hyrule Warriors, Captain Toad, and Smash Bros are all coming out this year, but almost everything else is relegated to next year, which does make sense so we're not stuck with another drought. But with all this being said, what are the top 5 games that I'm anticipating the most in 2015 at this point? We are only in July, so this list could potentially shift around when more juicy details for the known games come out, or even if Nintendo decides to announce even more games slated for said year that we had no clue about. And before I start, I just want to set some ground rules. First, it doesn't matter if the game is first, second, or third party. As long as it's on a Nintendo platform, it's fair game. And finally, these are my choices and are totally subjective. We all like different types of games, so don't be telling me that I chose the wrong ones. But you're free to go ahead and sound off in the comments below and tell me your top 5. But without further ado, here are my top 5 Wii U and 3DS games I'm looking forward to in 2015 so far. Sometime before E3 even started, Nintendo trademarked a game called Project Codenames Team, and we literally had no idea what it was. The whole thing kinda just flew under the radar, and wouldn't you know, Nintendo announced that they would have a developers roundtable at E3 for an unannounced 3DS game. Speculation arose for a Majora's Mask 3D remake or even a new Metroid game, but little did we know it would turn out to be the brand spanking new IP called Codenames Team. Team is a turn-based strategy title that is thankfully being developed by the one and only Intelligent Systems who are pioneers in that particular genre, with loads of experience working on the Fire Emblem and Advance Wars series. Steam is not your typical turn-based strategy game. No, as a strike team set up by Abraham Lincoln, yes, that Abraham Lincoln, you roam around the battlefield in a third-person perspective with an arsenal of weapons and troops to take down the alien menace. What's neat about not having a top-down perspective is that you're limited in your view of your surroundings, so you'll need to carefully take cover, set up ambushes, and unleash crossfires and counterattacks, all the while investigating the battlefield since you have no minimap to look at for guidance. And since you're free to move in any direction instead of being relegated to a rigid grid structure, it just captures a different feeling that I'm all for. Codenames Team apparently plays similarly to Valkyria Chronicles, but considering I never had any experience with that game, Steam is looking really fresh to me. The developers roundtable gave us a good idea of what Codenames Team will be about, and since I liked what Intelligent Systems did with last year's Fire Emblem Awakening, I'm totally ready for its eventual release on the 3DS in 2015. If there is one word to describe Yoshi's Woolly World, it would no doubt be adorable. Nintendo isn't holding back when it comes to its art style, and that is something I found to be really endearing about their E3 showing. We just got such a great variety, ranging from Kirby and the Rainbow Curse's amazing claymation to Yoshi's cuddly yarn goodness, where pretty much everything in the game world is made out of some kind of fabric. I liked the look of the original concept of Yarn Yoshi back in early 2013, but seeing it now with its updated look blows its previous style way out of the water. Woolly World is just bursting at the seams with color, literally. The only problem is that wool makes me itchy, but whatever. Woolly World looks fantastic. It's got the familiar Yoshi gameplay that you come to know as you hurl actual balls of yarn at Shy Guys and Piranha Plants, mixed in with the fun of unraveling yarn courtesy of Kirby's Epic Yarn. Oh, and you don't have to worry about taking care of an obnoxious whiny baby that is known to rupture eardrums at a moment's notice. Yoshi's new island for the 3DS wasn't exactly the greatest, but Yoshi's Woolly World is looking to pick up on whatever new island was lacking, and we've only just seen a handful of what the full game has to offer. The game also supports full-on cooperative multiplayer, which is the first ever for a Yoshi title, but that really has no bearing on this game for me since I never play with anyone. Talk about being a loner. Xenoblade Chronicles X is shaping up to look like a really fun and engaging open-world RPG. Unfortunately, I never played 2010's Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, which I kind of regret doing now, but I guess I can make up for that since X is essentially a spiritual successor. Even so, I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. What I find to look so great about it is its real-time battle system, where you can just walk up to some magnificent creature on the map and start sending out a volley of attacks without being hampered by a cutscene that takes you to a battlefield where you can slowly but surely take turns smacking each other. Added to that, the game features a class system that will ultimately allow you to carve out your own playing style as each class gains access to different abilities that can be useful in battle. Plus, it's got gigantic dinosaurs, and you can't really go wrong with that. What really seems interesting about Chronicles X is its potential for online multiplayer, where you can band up with other players online and take down some huge beasts, which could have a Monster Hunter feel. Nintendo has been really quiet about the game's multiplayer though, but hopefully Monolith Soft won't be holding back from delivering an all-around exciting experience. Xenoblade Chronicles X is looking to be a really enticing game, and I find myself looking ever forward to it. Plus, it's the type of game that the Wii U definitely needs in its library to flesh things out. 2015 can't come soon enough. Oh man, I am so pumped for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. It has to be one of my most anticipated 3DS games right now. My only experience with this insanely popular series in Japan is with the fantastic Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii U, which is a really amazing game. Believe it or not, I really wasn't having a grand old time when I first brought it home and delved into it. It was just too slow and complicated, and I even pondered about taking it back to GameStop to get some cash back, but I stuck through it and I'm so glad I did, because I'm enamored by the series now. I've spent over 80 hours playing this game, which really isn't that impressive when you compare it to other Hunter enthusiasts who clock in hundreds of hours of their life to this game. There's just so much to do. The series does have a steep learning curve, but since I now know what to expect, making my adventure through Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate will be that much better. There's just something about taking down these giant behemoths that just really clicks. The monsters are actually fierce foes that require strategy and skill as you dance around them for minutes on end, learn their ins and outs, and to wrap it all up, chop off body parts for some tense harvesting. On top of that, 4 Ultimate is opening things up more with a bigger focus on climbing and jumping, with you even hopping onto the monsters themselves and shanking them like crazy. Unlike the 3DS version of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, 4 Ultimate will thankfully include online multiplayer, which is a huge plus. So now I'll have the benefit of being able to take the game on the go or hop online with some other Monster Hunters and have a good old time. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is definitely one of my most anticipated games right now. We know next to nothing about the next original Zelda game on Wii U, but that hasn't stopped me from being excited about what it will end up being. I was floored during the Nintendo Digital event when Eiji Aonuma gave us our first real look at the luscious world of Zelda U with the quick snap of his fingers, and I think I went blind from the eye-popping visuals. Man, is Nintendo really showcasing what the Wii U is capable of handling, and I'm really happy that Nintendo decided to go with a more lively, colorful, cartoony art style for the series that is in a way a mixture of both Skyward Sword and the Wind Waker. What's great about this Zelda title is that it will actually be a true open world experience, which harkens back to the original Zelda back on the NES, where you pretty much had free reign to venture wherever you wanted right from the start. Going back to Zelda's roots will give longtime fans a fresher experience, compared to the more linear Zelda gameplay of more recent years, excluding a link between worlds. This is true with how Sakurai stated during the digital event that we'd even be able to get to areas from multiple directions, allowing us to craft our own adventure in the land of Hyrule, instead of being forced down a straight path. It will be interesting to see how Nintendo will tackle such a huge undertaking, by creating such a massive open world where you can literally make the trek to mountains that can be seen far off in the distance. What are they going to fill this expansive world with to make it actually worthwhile? Will it have an Elder Scroll type of vibe? We've really only scratched the surface of Zelda U at this point, and there's bound to be more goodness revealed in the future that will help fuel some more excitement. But that will bring us to the end of this episode of That's Nintendo Crazy. If you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and add your favorites and all that good stuff. And again, don't forget to tell me your top 5 most anticipated games for 2015 in the comment section below. But I will talk to you later in the next video, guys. Bye!